Good evening, everybody. Good evening, dear souls, and welcome to another webinar about spirituality, about the metaphysical world, about your ability as a soul to manifest beautiful things you're supposed to manifest in this soul journey of yours. My name is Mike, and I'll be your host today. Um, I built a webinar type thing that is completely based on my personal experience with reaching out to the divine, to the other side, to the higher realms, to other places of consciousness. And this is where soul reside, or this is where souls continue to do work after our physical life. Of course, for those of you who are going to join later, I apologize if you miss anything, but I promise you that you can rewind it once the broadcast is over. And from today on, when I upload videos or when I do these webinars, I will try to upload them as videos, as pre-recorded videos. That way they stay on there for longer. So we're going to jump right into it. And it doesn't matter at what point or in what divine timing we join this broadcast, okay? So we all know that at some point in our life journey here on earth and in our soul journey here on earth, we will lose. And when I say lose, I mean lose just for a little while a loved one, somebody we care for. The physical death is part of life that we can never deny, um, even though we don't want to think about it. But the dying process of the body is inseparable part of life, and you have to remember this always. However, though in a time of when a person that is precious to us passes, we often always hold on to the hope that they're never gone, that they hear us when we pray for them or ask and seek for their advice. Nobody wants to believe that their loved ones are gone. And it doesn't matter what we personally believe on, the life after life. Whether we believe that there is a life after our physical body stops from existing. It doesn't matter when it comes to us. It should, but it doesn't. When it comes to a loved one that we care for, that we miss and feel heartbroken from their physical passing, that we know for a fact that there is a continuation and that they're going to heaven and that they'll be watching over us, etc., etc. Well, these people are right, because if I could tell you based on my experience that not only that we don't die, when we pass from this physical body, especially the first 12 months when we're still attached to our memories and emotions and feelings, we are invincible. We've never lived that purely like we are when we are in this state. You must remember that we are everywhere and at any time. Just know that as a soul, you're everywhere at the same time, and you are time. So I wrote you a webinar that we're going to read together that has some practices of, people always ask me, how do I establish connection with my loved one who passed away? How do I get to hear or understand or see what they have to tell me? How do I understand it? How do I process it? How do I communicate with them? And though part of the game called life's rules is that we can't physically communicate with somebody who passed from the physical consciousness. However, inside of us, the soul is always burning. And our soul craves for the metaphysical. Our soul craves to be familiar with certain energies. And when we know how to connect to it, and how to manifest, how to put all of our spiritual knowledge, all of our intentions, all of our feelings and emotions, all of our hopes in one big thought, big emotion, we are able to meet our loved ones halfway and establish a connection. It's really not that complicated. I always tell people that the best psychic you can hire for yourself is you. Your loved ones would prefer talking to you before a stranger who happens to just believe what they're doing. But in the end of the day, if you want a message from you, you should be the one seeking it. You should be the one receiving it and reaching out so you can get it. It's very, very personal. So we're going to start. And like I said, if you joined us later, it's because it's live. No worries. You can always rewind after the live is over. So let's see how I can share the screen here really quick with you. By the way, can anyone hear me okay? I know I added some music. It's good for the atmosphere, especially when we talk about our loved ones who passed away. Music is always the thread that, the bridge that connects us to the afterlife. It's one of the safest routes you can take. So if you can hear me fine, okay, good. Thank you. Thank you so much. So we're going to start. And I really want you to kind of read yourself and resonate as I'm reading. So it's how to connect with your loved ones beyond. So today we're on a special journey together. We're going to explore how we can stay connected with the people we love even after they've left us. Understanding the special connection when someone we care about isn't with us anymore. It doesn't mean they're completely gone. Memories and feelings create a kind of special bridge that lets us still feel close to them, even though they're not here physically. So, I just came back from a memorial today. I could really sense people's emotions, the feelings of missing someone they love, missing hugging them, holding them, just having random memories running through their heads when everything is still fresh, still hard to believe for them that somebody they love so much is gone. And I could really sense these emotions. And these emotions of memories and feelings, they are also the bridge where we can communicate with our loved ones who passed away. Even though they're not really here physically. So let's talk about how we can keep this connection strong. So guys, it all starts from a fundamental idea that I was thinking about and I personally experienced. You have to first believe, or not even believe, know with all your heart that they're there, they're alive, that the soul lives that nothing was lost, nothing's gone, and nothing is hopeless. You know, when we lose somebody, the first feeling that is that punch in our stomach is that hopelessness and helplessness. The fact that there's nothing we can do, no matter how much we don't want that. If it's meant to happen, it happens, and it's just stronger than us. And then it's mixed with sadness and with just futuristic thoughts about what are we going to do without that person. And it's just mixed of very, very sad emotions. And this confusion sometimes can get us also disconnected from the ones we want to be around long after they're gone. So one of the things that I want to tell you before you establish any type of connection is that you have to remember the good times that you shared with that person. You just have to go back and relive those good times and let little happiness take over or get inside the cracks there, inside your mourning and sadness. Just get something positive in there as well. So I'm going to continue reading to you guys. Remembering the good times we shared and feeling the emotions tied to those moments help us feel connected to our loved ones in a different way. Thinking about a happy memory with them and the feelings they love, joy or even sadness we had during that time can help us feel close to them. Now, I want everybody to take a quiet moment and just think about the loved one that you lost, and it doesn't matter how long ago was that. The soul does not obey the rules of time. And we're going to practice, and again, you can practice after. You don't have to practice right away. It's not like a joint practice, but just if you want to, you can practice feeling close to a loved one. And this is one of the ways, the first way that you can communicate. And once you master these practices and you really get to them, and they come from the inside, they come from a really pure place from inside of you, you'll realize that it's going to be more of a routine that your soul is exercising. So right now you're processing it because you see it, but I really want you not to take it from the outside in, not from my voice, not from what you read. Try to take it like from the inside in, if it makes sense. Like listen to it from your soul and process it from your soul. So the exercise you close your eyes, you take a deep breath, and then you imagine a happy memory you have with your loved one. You must feel how you felt in that moment and try to sense their presence with you. Sometimes you can try to sense their smell. Sometimes, people have unique touch. You can start remembering their touch and almost like feel them as like the wind blowing into your face. And it's really, really important to do that through a memory, because a shared memory is something that your loved one can share with you at the same time. It's like they get a notification in heaven that somebody they love who's still alive on earth was bringing up, and they automatically connect to that. They want to be part of it. So again, it's whenever you want to do it, close your eyes, you take a deep breath. You have to take it in. You imagine a happy memory that you had with your loved one. So it's really important to do that. You're going to move on. One of the most important ways, and I'm saying important because it's almost essential for you in order to communicate with your loved one who passed away, is connecting through music. That's the reason I was trying to get in background music in this broadcast, so um, some of you can get into the feeling. Music is really a bridge, and you have to treat it like that. So, one of the things you can do to manifest and communicate with a loved one is that you need to think of a song that reminds you of your loved one. Playing it can bring back memories and feelings, creating a strong connection. I told you, when you do something that is spiritual, that is metaphysical, and by all means, music is one of the most metaphysical things there is. So you have to play that music and you have to create the connection. So when you practice, and again, you don't have to do it now, but you choose a song, and we all have a song that reminds us of a loved one who passed away. Play it. Close your eyes. Again, the reason we close our eyes is that we remove ourselves from all the physical chains and distractions. And we slowly just focusing in our loved ones, and we try to create a type telepathy type communication, if you would. So like I said, you choose a song that reminds you of your loved one. Play it. Close your eyes and let the emotions and memories flow. When I say flow is don't stop, don't get sad because of the memory. Don't try to break down a memory. Don't try to think about it too much. But let those memories and emotions, let them all flow. If you're sad, be sad unconditionally. If you love and miss them, do it unconditionally. Let everything flow. Which is something you have to practice in life, period. Is to let everything flow through you and never be stuck. So you have to feel their presence as the music surrounds you. So at one point, the music has, you have to feel the music 360. And then you always like imagine that your loved one is there with you, listening to the same tunes. Once you do it, though physically you might be doing it alone, but you more likely to establish a connection that will stay with you later on that night with a dream, with a message, with a blessing, with a sign, with something that is going to raise your consciousness to a point of you know that nothing's really lost. And you don't need to have a near-death experience for that, or anything like that. Number 4, intuition leading to messages. Sometimes a sudden thought, feeling, or image that pops into our mind could be a message from a departed loved one. So it's very easy to practice. You know, many times during our day, we'll have that moment. We'll have that little divine spark moment. And it doesn't matter if it's something we watch, if it's something we think about, feel, or just anything, a memory that pops into your mind. And that's your intuition, that's your soul itself telling you it wants to establish a connection. It's asking you to help it establish a connection with a loved one. So the practice is simple. You have to take a moment to quiet your mind, really just empty your thoughts from anything that is not related to your soul and to your spiritual consciousness. Pay attention to any sudden thoughts or feelings that come up. Write them down and reflect on whether they could be a message from your loved one. So that intuition is asking you to stop everything you do, to quiet your mind from any distraction, and to pay attention to sudden thoughts and feelings. Meaning sometimes we have thoughts and feelings that just come to us that we don't manifest. because we don't control. So these at times are specific signs that we're being communicated with, and we need to understand it. So take a moment to analyze those beautiful miracles that happen during your day. And moments of intuitions are considered miracles. Your intuition is a miracle. You can never go wrong with that. Even if you go wrong with your intuition on the short term, on the long term, it's always going to be the most smartest decision you've ever taken. So listen to your intuition because that's your soul talking to you. And also, when it comes to a message from a loved one, let's move on to number 5. Now, just like intuition, it's very, very closely related. There's the method of manifestation and connection. Manifestation is about focusing our thoughts to bring something into our lives, to create, to be godly. We can use it to manifest a stronger connection with the other side. So just like our thoughts and wills and emotions can pave our reality, we call it manifesting. That manifestation method is very effective when we try to communicate with the other side, when we try to have our soul aligned with our loved ones who can't wait to communicate with us, to be honest. They are able to. It is us who need to align our body and soul in order to do that. Because manifestation is all about alignment. When you're aligned, you technically manifest with your thoughts alone. You don't have to do anything. Everything is done for you. It's like magic. By setting the intention to connect and believing it's possible. I should have corrected that. I should have written knowing it's possible. We can manifest a deeper spiritual connection. So you have to set your intention clear to connect. You really want to connect. And you know that because you want to connect, you will connect. Know it without any doubt. And you will manifest a deeper spiritual connection. Sometimes you'll get messages that you would have never gotten otherwise. So pay attention. So if you want to practice the manifestation, and again, anytime you feel ready to do it. Some of the stuff that I tell my followers is that, it's an individual journey that requires alignment. Sometimes we can get some information and we really just want to learn, we really want to process. So to practice on the spot, it can be good, can be very joyful, can be helpful. But when I'm talking about connecting with your loved ones, I want you to do it when it's your divine timing and your divine will to connect with your loved ones, because this requires a lot of attention, requires your own time, requires your own manifestation methods, and it's a beautiful process and should not be rushed. So at your own time, I'm just going to tell you how to manifest. Set aside time to meditate or reflect, okay? It's the same thing. Reflect, meditate, meaning clear your mind, bring you to the center of your life, and you're alone. Nothing else, no one else. Just you and your thoughts, you and your emotions, you and your dreams, you and your feelings. Just you. Visualize yourself surrounded by a loving energy. See yourself in the middle of a circle that is made out of light. And it's the most beautiful light you've ever seen. And the light is spinning around you and gives you a warm feeling of protection, of love, of care, memories from home. And when you meditate, surround yourself with being in the center of that circle of light. It's the loving energy I was talking about. And then feel the presence of your part of it. Believe in the strength of this connection as if it's already there. So once you clear your thoughts and make you the center of the universe, you place yourself in that circle of light and loving energy. And once you're there enough time and you're ready to welcome your loved one you're trying to connect, just know that they can be there right next to you. See them in front, hear their voice, understand and remember their speech. Give them a hug, feel their energy, try to merge with them. I'm telling you, when you do it with intention, when you do it from the inside out, you can't go wrong with it. It's a beautiful process of communicating. Next, this one is a very important one, not a lot of people know about. But when we get into the realm of egoless environment, our souls and the souls of our departed loved ones, once they leave the body, they leave the ego behind as well. They become egoless. They have solely the need to give over the need to receive. And what other beautiful creation can resemble that nature? So one of the ways to communicate with our loved ones who departed is through, I call it the nature's connection. Nature holds immense spiritual power and can be a conduct, excuse me, to connect with our loved ones who have passed on. Spending time in nature, whether it's a park, garden, or near water, can create a sense, atmosphere where connections with departed loved ones feel stronger. So when you're there in the final product of the divine creation, you're connecting to a very, very ancient spiritual power that's been there since day one of creation. Generations and generations before. And these old energies are always there with nature. Yes, they rejuvenate, renew themselves, but these are the same old egoless energies, pure divine energies. When we are in nature, we mostly, that's why people like to go places to relax. That's why people love to see views. That's why people's souls sometimes thrive to see something beautiful, a beautiful picture. People enjoy nature. If they don't enjoy being there, they enjoy looking at it. Okay? It's all about the view. It's all about how magnificent that creation is. And it's a platform also to connect, excuse me, with our loved ones. So the practice is me to find a peaceful spot in nature. Sit or stand comfortably. Close your eyes and take a deep breath. So you can take deep breath, few deep breaths, it doesn't matter. But you must just relax and breathe in nature. Breathe in the energies that nature produces. You must feel the natural surroundings and image your loved one's presence there with you. Allow yourself to feel their energy and the peacefulness of nature. So a lot of people like to isolate in nature. A lot of people like to feel, there's a term in spirituality called grounding. So when you grounded, you become part of the creation of where your physical body came from. A lot of good energies. So this is also a way. If you live around nature or you have an opportunity to enjoy nature while you try to manifest and use the other methods to communicate with your loved ones, you're going to have a better chance of truly succeeding. This one is dreams as a connection. Okay, in many other live broadcasts, I told you guys that dreams are messages. That's when our soul is traveling, is gathering information, collecting information, recharging with energies, with good energies, and there's a lot going on, spiritually speaking, of course. So you can use dreams, which are the platform where our soul leaves our physical body for a little while and to connect to its higher self. So we can use it as a platform to also communicate with our loved ones who are part of it. So dreams can be a pathway for communication from the other side. Our dreams can sometimes feature our departed loved ones, offering comfort, guidance, or simply their presence. So to manifest this before sleeping, and I've said it many times in other videos, and the people who talk to me one-on-one know that I always tell them this method because this method is one of the best methods. Before sleeping, right before when you feel like you know, dozing off and just your eyes are getting heavy, set the intention to see or connect with your loved one in your dreams. All you have to think about very, very strongly and very intensely is that you're going to meet your loved one in that dream of yours, the dream that you're going to manifest. And then keep a journal by your bed to write down any dreams you have about them when you wake up. Why do you need to write it down? Because it's very, very easy to forget a lucid dream. And because your soul's really getting messages and it's supposed to just confuse you, and really we feel the dream is so real, but when we wake up, we forget everything about it. Not unless you keep a journal next to you and you write down whatever you remember. When you read it afterwards, you're able to go back and complete the connection attempt that you had in your dream with your loved ones. And most likely you will receive messages. It's really, really important. If it doesn't work the first night, try the second night, the third, the fourth, the 30th night. It doesn't matter. It will happen in its divine timing, but this is one way to communicate with a loved one. It's to meet them in our dreams. A lot of the time we do dream about them without even manifesting, meeting them or asking to meet them or thinking about that. But when we think about it and manifest it, the message will be way more clear. The blessings will be way more real, and the connection will be deeper because it's something that we established. So it's really important. How can you not go without candlelight connections? Okay, many people, many faiths and beliefs as well understand the importance of candlelight and the spiritual meaning of it and the resemblance that it has to the human soul. And because of that similarity between the two sources of light, our soul and the light, especially candlelight that's supposed to symbolize us, we are able to create a pathway to the afterlife, to our loved ones. So candles have been used in spiritual practices to create an atmosphere for connection. When I said atmosphere here, I meant spiritual atmosphere. Lighting a candle can symbolize inviting the presence of our loved ones into our space. Okay, we all have an aura. We all have an illumination. For some, it's brighter than the others because of our own spiritual awakening process. But we all really resemble that aura that is around the candlelight. Like you won't find that aura anywhere else but on the candle. So it's really, really important to invite your loved ones to that ceremony of you just lighting a candle and make sure that you do all the rest of the practices with that, like the manifestation, the calming and clearing your thoughts, and the music, and you add the candle to it. So, yeah, I give you different ways, but if you combine these methods of communication that I've been talking about the past almost 40 minutes to the way they suit you, you'll realize that you'll be able to communicate, like your odds of communicating are now growing times three or four. Main thing is to never give up, to never think that if it hadn't happened yet, it's not going to happen. That's not true. Everything has its perfect divine timing. You do your part, let your divine timing, let your soul journey do its. Don't try to over push it, and don't try to force it. You have to just go with it, and have a good understanding, and and be really in good vibes about it, because it's exciting. Every spiritual awakening is exciting. Every time we improve our spiritual abilities, and if you knew how strong of spiritual abilities we have. I mean, the more we advance in the generation, the less we are capable of doing what we used to do in ancient times. Like people in biblical times were able to really walk between the worlds and come back and manifest many things. Janet's asking, might I be disturbing their peace by calling on them? Well, it's a good question. We're not calling on them. Establishing a connection with our loved ones is completely different than calling them or disturbing them or anything like that. They're all around us as souls. They watch us. They really live inside our hearts. They feel our feelings. They know our fears. They know our pluses and minuses in a way better way that they knew when they were around us physically. And us establishing a connection is, it's almost like physically sending a letter saying, I love you, I miss you, I know you're there, I know you're okay. And it's anything but disturbing. It's encouraging them. Our loved ones still love us just the same. And just because they're not in our physical reach, it doesn't mean anything about how they want to enjoy our presence, or what can we do to communicate but yet not break the rule, which is disturbing them. Um, Everything has to come from a place of love. And when you use your manifestation, you're not disturbing them. You're not bringing anybody here, you're going there. You know what I mean? You meet him halfway. When you meet the soul halfway, is that you were able to align your body and soul to a point when you can communicate. Um, and, and I think it's a beautiful thing. When we pray for a loved one, what do? We really try to communicate through a prayer. We try to send them our good vibes and love and emotions, everything we have through the prayer. So our soul has all the tools to manifest a way to meet them, or at least to show them that we know that they're okay, that we love them, that they're never gone, they're never lost, and we can't wait to meet them. So candles are one of the most important things. Music, one of the most important things. So also we have the symbolic objects in connection. It also is connected to the manifestation. So when you think about their presence, when you think about the music as well, when you think about the song they used to love or anything like that, it helps us really just think about them with intention, because this is all it does. It's when we look at their objects, it's really to stimulate us to manifest them around us, and us really leaving our body for a little while to go meet them. meet our loved ones. Okay, and again, establishing connection. I don't want people to think that this is anything like what you know, what you see in Ouija boards and stuff like that. No, not at all. We're not disturbing souls. We're not bringing them from where they at. We're not getting them to be unrest. We're just showing them we love them. We're showing them that we know we have consciousness. We're showing them that we are also souls. We're just still in that body game. We're still playing the game, but we're also souls, and we know that we have a lot in common, and we just show it. So, objects that hold sentimental value can serve as a bridge to connect with departed loved ones. Items like photos, it makes us remember them. Jewelry, it makes us remember them. Or belongings of your loved one can trigger strong emotional connections and memories. And the connection is coming from you, your emotions, your strong emotions manifest. So one of the ways to do it is choose an object that reminds you of your loved one. Hold it fairly close to your heart, close to your chest. Feel its texture and remember the moments it represents. Try to get smells in there as well. Yeah. Try to get voices, familiar voices from your loved one. Try to really just picture them right next to you with that object. Okay? Remember the moments it represents. Allow yourself to feel their presence with this object. So, like I said, guys, it's it's really important to remember that all we want to do is to show them that we are okay. Our loved ones don't like to see us sad because, like I said, they see the whole picture. They know what's going on. They know where they are. They worry about us. So once we show them that we are okay, then everything is going to be good. So going back to the beginning of the methods, so I said one of them is remembering the good times that we shared, if you remember, the feelings and emotions that like like a memory, good memory that you have. Go back to that memory and relive that memory in your head over and over again. Relive that memory. You're going to establish a connection. And a connection meaning you get a message. You get that feeling that you're just so happy that you feel like your loved one just visited you in your dream and whatnot. So it's important. Connecting through music, like I said, you choose a song that reminds you of your loved one. Play it, close your eyes, let the emotions and memories flow. Feel their presence as the music surrounds you. Really important. Intuition leading to messages. If you think about them and you have a thought and you have like a moment or something that's like that caught you off guard and it's like a miracle, it has to do with them possibly. So think about that. Watch your mind, manifestation and connection, manifest the connection. Okay? You must remember it's really, really important. You know, the way that people through love and through manifestation connecting with somebody who's not in the same consciousness is think about a mother and a baby in the room. Two different states of consciousness. Right? The mother's love, the mother's ability to see the whole picture is allowing her to establish a connection with her child, even though they can't talk, even though they haven't seen one another, even though for those 9 months they're in a completely different consciousness. But just like that, just because somebody left their physical body does not mean they're gone. When you pray for them, you establish a connection. When you think about them, you establish a connection. Okay? They're not strange to us because they're gone. Nature, very important. It's important to your soul. and it's important to theirs as well. Okay, you have to understand when you go in nature, you just go to this a creation from the universe that it's egoless, that is untouched. There's no evil in it. There's nothing but hope and renewal, and it's beautiful. So nature, guys, like I said, you can rewind and watch all these beautiful methods. Dreams as a connection. Okay, try to have them in your dream. You don't have to do anything else. Manifest you want to meet your loved one in your dream, and that meeting is not just a dream. It's a real meeting, but this is how it just manifests itself. Candlelighting connection. I told you that candlelight is one of the biggest symbols. It's getting us to the, when I say connection to our loved ones who passed, I mean we're going to feel them. We're going to feel their existence. We're going to feel their love. We're going to feel their warmth. Of course, the symbolic objects that they have, and that's it. And it will help you a lot in your own journey as well, because when we find these places to tap into our soul, when we try to connect and manifest a loved one, we can learn how to do it just in general, doing our soul journey, and it will make our soul journey so much easier. We'll have so much more understanding. Um, so I hope you guys enjoyed 50 minutes of that short webinar. And like I always say, go back and watch it from the beginning. And if you want to practice it, practice some of this stuff on your own. I promise you that you won't be disappointed. Janet said, now I'm going to put on my son's shirt while I watch the video. So thank you for that. Well, that's the purpose. Really, the purpose is that you're going to have that vibe. Connection, to feel somebody. It's not to interfere with their journey or anything that's going on. It's not to try to be there for them physically. And no, no, no. It's to align. If we can connect to our soul, we can connect to any soul. And it can be done in such a beautiful way that's going to give us hope and make us live every day knowing that instead of being sad, we remember the good things, the good memories. We try to get a lot of strength from our loved ones. We try to ask them to help us with our path because they see the bigger picture. So it's really, really important. David, happy Hanukkah to you as well. Thank you so much for that. So that was it, ladies and gentlemen, beautiful souls. Just a short webinar, but I think it's my most important one to date because I came back from my aunt's memorial. Today it's 1 week since she passed, and I was in a room full of these type of emotions and feelings and humbleness, and how everybody's just there for the loving memory of one soul, and how these energies and how respecting somebody after they leave this world, gathering for their memory and saying good things about them. Now the energies are amazing. And people can do it as groups, people can do it when it freshly happened, or you can do it yourself anytime. Our loved ones are never gone. They're awaiting us. They're waiting us to finish our part in this very limiting physical consciousness. So I'd like to thank you all for joining me today and wish you a beautiful day of light and peaceful night of awareness and consciousness, miracles. Depends where you're at in the globe. And thank you for watching and listening. God bless.